Okay, we have a question here. Harley, your advice has changed my life. I lost 29 pounds, but I feel so lost and so alone. Almost no one in my country live this way, eat this way. No men have a vasectomy. No men have a vasectomy, this person says. I don't speak English very well, but I'd like to go to Australia to try to meet other high-carb, low-fat vegan crew. I enjoy the sun and eat fruit. Do you think it's a good place to meet interesting people and maybe a BF? Only a man with a vasectomy, lol. I'm really lonely and feel so lost in my life right now. Well, you need to have some children, love. You need to have some children. And if you have children, they'll give you some purpose and direction in life, won't they? And for a bit, and then you'll be like, holy heck, this is really too hard, and I didn't expect this. But this is what a lot of women get into, is they have kids thinking, well, you know, I have cats, I have dogs, I have kids, and they'll make me feel loved, and blah, blah, blah. You have to give yourself self-love. Let's get into a bit of a deep dive here. Let's pull it apart. Now, again, I might come across arrogant or cocky or a bit of a douchebag. I'm not trying to, but I often do come across that way. I'm just going to speak from the heart here. And so try and take away any emotion. Just hear what I'm saying. Write it down. The points I'm going to mention. And don't take anything personal in this video. This is a video not for just this person. This is a video for a lot of men and women out there who might feel lost in today's lost world. The world is lost. Okay, let's start with it. The world is lost. You're not lost, really. You're in a lost world. All right, remember that. You're in a world that doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Okay? You're in a crazy world. You're a human, an animal, a beast in this crazy lost world. So don't think you're alone like that. For me, I had a lot of lost in my a lot of lost. I felt lost in my life, and then I was like, "What is my life about?" People are like, "Oh, it's to find Jesus and to find Allah and religion." And I respect people have if that's what gives people direction, then that's awesome. But for me, I saw it for all the church BS and all the religious wars and nonsense. And yeah, I mean, you can still believe in God and not be into that stuff. That's fair enough. But for me, it was like, why are humans on the planet? You know, and I'm like, we're here to be stewards of the planet. We're quite advanced creatures. We're so advanced, we're our own worst enemy. But we can also do a lot of great for the planet. You know, we can help injured animals. We can grow certain foods. We're pretty smart when we want to be. You know, and we're very, very stupid most of the time. So for me, it felt like my purpose in life, what gives me the greatest satisfaction, the greatest vibes, is when I'm helping people, help the planet, and helping the animals. You know, that's just, I get off on that. I get like a buzz when I'm recycling plastic or refusing plastic or minimizing my ownership of certain things or buying secondhand versus brand new. Just, you know, like, or just extending the longevity of a product versus just chucking it in the landfill, or reusing it a few more times, or getting a vasectomy and minimizing my carbon footprint, eating vegan foods, promoting that I get off on that. That gives me a great sense of purpose, you know. That gives me a great sense of purpose. That's like, if I had a choice, you know, in life of, you know, sex, which I really, really love as well, or a life of purpose, I would choose a life of purpose. You know, I would choose a life of purpose. For me, having quite high hormone levels naturally and exogenously, you know, I'm pretty oriented in that direction. So when I have lower levels for various reasons, then I feel more purpose-driven as well. So it's okay to feel this way. It is normal and natural. And this is the point you get to in expanding your consciousness. I might sound like a bit of a woo-woo right now, but you know, we're here for a reason, and I generally believe that reason is to look after the planet. You know. For me it is anyway, and that gives me a great sense of purpose. So if you're feeling lonely, like you don't have any people in real life to communicate with, that's your fault. All right, that's your fault. It's 2021 now. It's the age of the internet. All right, and I'm going to give you a bit of tough love now. Can you imagine, like, people write to me, I get probably 1,000+ questions, direct comments, etc. per day. You know, maybe even up to 5,000, depends on the day, etc. My inboxes are smashed for the last decade. All right. It's not hard for me to meet people in real life. I enjoy it, but if I accepted every request for people wanting to meet up in real life, I wouldn't have a life outside of meeting people in real life. I like to like spend time with Natasha, get my sleep, get my sport, get my sun, just have my alone time, etc. Just to process things and recharge. So I enjoyed that, but I also definitely love meeting people in real life as well. I've scaled that down to be more productive online, to build more community that way, but it's not hard for me to meet people. You know what I mean? Like if I was, let's say I was single, like when I was single, man, it was out of hand. It really got out of hand. When I was single, especially that time in 2016, man, it was absolute chaos. I had women in my bed, women outside knocking on my hotel door room, just like inboxes, just getting absolutely smashed. And it got to my head. I did make some mistakes there. I made some women feel like they were going to be the next Freely Banana Girl, etc., etc. And then when they realised they weren't, they got quite pissed at me, and I understand that. And, I let them on in their eyes. I didn't in my eyes, but I understand lessons learned. And so it wasn't, hard for me to meet people. I could be super selective. When I thought, well, I want to get another girlfriend, so I could be super selective on who I wanted as a full-time GF. So, and that's how it is now for me for the rest of my life. I can be super selective because of my fame. That puts me in a place of attention in the spotlight, but more importantly, actually that's really important, isn't it? The fame definitely helps. It makes things easy, but what the fame's give me also is experience, and women love men with experience. So I've got the bit of the double sword there, the fame plus the ability and experience that women love. So that's what I tell guys and girls as well. Rack up experience, man. Rack up experience in safe ways. All right, safe ways. Rack up experience. So when you find someone you want to really, spend a lot of time with, more than just a weekend or a week or a month here and there, you want to spend full time with, then you have the experience to lock them down, wrap them up, and have them as yours. All right. So get the experience in safe ways. So this person here, you got to build your fame. You got to build your exposure. All right. Oh, well, I don't look a certain way. I'm not this. I'm not that. Oh my God. I mean, damn. Like what? I mean, I hear this all the time. I'm not saying this person would say that. I'm just saying, but I'm not 18 anymore. Or I'm not super skinny. Or I don't have big tits. Or blah, 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 blah. I don't like. It's like, no, I mean, gee, how hard do you want your life to be? How hard do you want your life to be? How much do you want to kick yourself into the gutter? You want to kick your own teeth in, like by just pointing out all your flaws, all the things that you think are flaws or whatever. Like, there's always someone out there who's prettier than us, who's funnier, who's got more money, fame, blah 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 blah. There's always someone out there, and so if you focus on that, then you're gonna feel like your vibe is like low, and then your vibe is going to be low to people who are like, oh wow, like I thought you were pretty cool, but man, your vibe's low. I'll be honest, the only time I've ever wanted to be away from a woman in my life is when her vibe I'm like, man, I can't do this no more. The vibe is just too low, too consistently low. Obviously everyone has their moments in life where the vibe is low. I have some low moments here and there. They're very, very rare, and they're very short, because I'm aware of what's going on, but sometimes they're there. They're very rare. You probably never ever seen one if you're around me a lot, but they happen less and less these days, especially because I understand what's going on better, and I can control my participation in my daily reality a lot better. But just be aware of your vibe. Be aware of your vibe. So that starts by what do you tell yourself? Here's me. I'm 44. In a couple of weeks, I could say, I'm 44, and like, what young, super hot Victoria's Secret model style girl was going to want to be with me? I'm just like a washed up YouTuber. Like, I don't have $20 million in the bank. Like, I'm not as rich as Bezos, or, I'm only 6 foot. Like, I'm not 6'5", and, I've only got a little bit of muscle, and like, blah, 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 blah. And my hair's not as thick as it used to be. And, I've only got like a 7-inch dick. It's not 12 inches. And I could say all sorts of BS, man. And, I'm just too old. Like, what girl's going to want to be with me? And some of the guys tell themselves, man, like, Or they get a really good chick, and then they get all insecure and bitter and aggressive and just stupid. And it's like, man, far out. So what we tell ourselves, is that determines our quality of our life. So if you tell yourself, I'm this, I'm that, I don't speak English very well. You speak English really, really well. I mean, maybe you use Google Translate, and that's okay. You did a bloody good job. I wouldn't have picked that your English wasn't good. So I use Google Translate as well. People think I speak Mandarin, Spanish, French, German, Portuguese. I use Google Translate. So when there's a will, there's a way. I couldn't speak a word of Portuguese, So it's about having fun in life, and that fun starts with, being real with yourself, but focusing on what your strengths are more than what your weaknesses are. And if you're going to focus on your weakness, do little things to improve it. Like maybe you can stand up taller. Maybe you can, just present yourself better with a smile and a bit more of a bit more pep in your step. Go to bed earlier. Have a bit of a fresher face by not being on your phone until late at night, etc. Or not having these negative thoughts in your head as much. Just controlling things. So there's so many ways to do that. But yeah, you've got to make yourself public. You've got to use social media to get out there. Like, social media is a gift. And if that's being on Tinder or these dating sites or Instagram and YouTube, but people are mean to me and there's just fuckboys. It's just like, I'm like, oh, come on. That comes with the territory. You think I've ridden all these miles on my bike and been to all these amazing places without sweat, crashes, broken bikes, road rage, angry dogs, a bit of sunburn, like heat stroke. Why do you think I've gotten around the world, had these experiences without some like adversity? It's not even adversity, man. It's not even adversity. Like someone giving you shit on the internet, or making up a website about you, or saying you got a horse face, or you look like an AIDS patient, or whatever. Like, who cares, man? You know what I mean? You can care. Who cares? You care, then you're gonna suffer. All right. So it's just how it is. Like, you just got to run with life. Life's a game, and you can win or lose in any given moment by how personal you take things. So you're going to take things personal, then you're going to suffer in life more than you have to do. So as I get older, I get better and better at avoiding taking things personally. And as a man, I've learned to really roll with a woman's emotions. 1 minute, woman's hot, next minute she's not, and this is towards you, and that's just a cycle of the ovulation and the luteal phase and the follicular phase. And as men, we have to understand that's how women roll. Like, it's just up and down. It's just a real roller coaster. Some women more stable than others, and they're the ones you want to pick. So yeah, it's just about creating stability, mental stability in your life. And then guys who are quality will be like, man, damn, I've been with a lot of women, but yeah, you're something different. Okay, I want to spend more time with you. So if your goal is to get a guy, which every girl pretty much wants, if she's being honest, a quality guy, I should say, then yeah, start working on yourself emotionally. Having that state control. And when you have state control, the universe goes, oh, you got state control, do you? You can control your state. Okay, let's throw in a little spanner in the works. Let's see how much state control you got. And then the more people think you've got state control, and then you lose it, they're like, damn, this was just an act. And then they lose respect for you. They lose adoration. They lose attractiveness towards you, especially if you're a man. If you're a woman, you can have a little bit of flip outs. But if you're a man, you have a flip out. It's like, see ya. It's really, we have to be rocks. You have to be rocks. Rock hard cock, rock hard mindset. That's what women expect. And that's just how it is. It's like, I don't make the rules. That's what it is. And a lot of guys out there, no. That's just how it is. Women as well. Women, us quality men, experienced men, people might say, you're not quality. That's debatable for some people. Experienced, no one can deny. I've got a stack of experience, and I'm always looking for more, to learn more experience, because I love learning in life. So us experienced men, we look for qualities in women, and I would say the main one is that emotional state control. That is for me, that's the biggest aesthetic. I can see straight for everything, you know what I mean? Emotional state control, that's what's going to get you staying through the door. Other things might get you through the door, but what gets you staying in the door, like staying in the bed, staying in the house, staying in the life, emotional state control. All right, because there's only so many times a day you can have sex as a guy. There's only so many times a day you can do that. There's only so much, feminine aesthetic you can handle in a day. But what's most important between those times is state control. So that's what I recommend. And as for finding a guy with a vasectomy, there's a lot of men. There's millions of men out there who have vasectomies. There's millions of men out there who are vegan, who are into sport and stuff like that. But how are you going to find them if you're running from the police, so to speak? If you're running from the relationship police by being so private and hidden. Well, I'm a very private person. Okay, cool, that's good. And you're going to be very private, and no one's going to know you even exist on the planet. You know what I mean? You might see other people who see on the street, but they don't know what you stand for because you're just wearing a Nike shirt or a blouse with no message on there. There's no vegan thing on there, or there's like vasectomies rule. You have to put yourself out there to be found. You have to put yourself out there to be found. All my girlfriends, they hit me up. They're sliding into my DMs. Hey, I'm in town. Let's meet up. You're in town. Blah blah blah. That's how I've met most women in the last 5 years of my life. They've smashed my inbox. They've slid into my DMs. They didn't fear rejection. They didn't say, "Oh, what if Harley says no?" They just, "I don't care. I want to have a go with Daddy." And they just slid into that DMs, and they were very aggressive and pursued, and just boom, pretty much raped me. So. And that's what women got to do in 2021. It's like Me Too. It's post-Me Too era. A woman has to be very aggressive, sexually aggressive, personality aggressive in a good way, in like not a psychotic way, but you know what I'm saying? She just has to be hyper feminine, not a bitter-faced feminist like Clementine Ford, etc. These women out there, they're bitter towards men, and then men see that because it goes for the media, and they're like, "Oh my God, like, what if she's a Clementine Ford fan?" And Clementine Ford, she's got her right to share her opinion. It's a free world like that. She can say what she wants to say. And the damage that she does with sharing some of her content is it makes experienced men go, damn, there's like a whole anti-men culture out there. Just like there might be an anti-women culture out there in certain cultures as well. So that creates a different environment, women. You're playing a different game now. So you have to be aggressive, sexually aggressive, and men like that because it's like, okay, so this is good. Otherwise, it's like men are like, "Oh, is she interested? I don't want her to go on Facebook and say, oh, such and such is super creepy. He asked me out on the date. Oh my God, he tried to kiss me. Blah, 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 blah." So women have to do everything. You have to make the first move. You have to slide the DMs. You have to make the first kiss. You have to grab his dong and just shove it where it's meant to be. And just, you have to, if you want the best results in life, or you're just gonna miss out. Well, what if I do that and I get rejected? Well, it's better to get rejected than to miss out, in my opinion. All right? It's better to get rejected and know for what, there could be many reasons a guy rejects you. Maybe he's gay. So many guys out there are gay in the closet. And there's nothing wrong with that, being gay, but being in the closet can create a lot of confusion in people. So, a lot of guys will turn you down because they're gay. Okay, that's fine. A lot of guys might be in a relationship. I'm happy. I'm good. A lot of guys might be like, I'm not really into you. You're not my type for whatever reasons. Or they might assume that you're not their type. All right. So just because a guy rejects you doesn't mean it's always about you. Okay. And women have to understand that. And vice versa for guys. Just because a woman rejects you doesn't mean it's about you. She maybe not be ovulating that in the moment, or she might have a super low libido, or she's got a better option, or she's just like, oh, this guy's a bit of a weirdo, or I don't date guys like that, or blah blah blah. That's just how it is. You just don't fear rejection. If you fear rejection in life, life's gonna reject you. Right? If you fear rejection in life, life will reject you. Life will reject your goals and your aspirations. The less fear of rejection you have, the less life will reject you. That's a huge one. Like my fear of rejection right now, man, it's like out of a scale of 100, it's like it's like a 1. It's like a 1 or a 2 out of 100. When I was 17, it would be like a 99. Okay, and so as that scale of rejection went down, my life quality just went up. All right. So life started to accept me versus reject me because I no longer feared rejection. I was just living from the heart, living from the hedonistic pleasures and goals and wanting to help people and learn things. And life just rewarded me in amazing ways. And again, it's like steering your car, steering your bicycle. You have to steer yourself every minute of the day. You can't just like put it on autopilot and just cruise along. You have to work at it every minute of the day. You have to control your emotional thoughts every minute of the day, steer them in the way that's going to help you live the best life. And in turn, doing so, you raise the vibe of people around you in your life. So you're going to get burnt, you're going to get scammed, you're going to get finessed, you're going to get fuckboyed, you're going to get social climbed and status chased by certain women. That's just what's going to happen in life. That's just the roll of the dice. Doesn't make it good. I'm just saying that's what's happened. The sunshine, you need vitamin D. Spend too much time out there, get sunburn. So it's part of the deal, people. Right? You like nature, you're going to get mosquitoes. You like organic food, you're going to have a worm in your food one time. It's just part of this deal. It's not good or bad. It is what it is. I never used to understand what that meant. Is what it is. It is what it is. Like the sun's hot. It is what it is. It's not so much good or bad. It is what it is. Use it how you want to use it. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, put yourself out in social media, and the less you fear rejection, the more life will accept you. And if you live for people's approval, you'll die from their rejection. Okay? Live for your own approval. Be easy on yourself, but be hard on yourself to create content and get it out there. Close enough is good enough. All right? Use better angles, use better lighting, use what you have to use. Don't make it too fake though. A lot of people using these face tune apps and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, you don't look like that in real life. Like when people meet in real life, they're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like you want to sell yourself pretty realistically, so then people can go, okay, I like what I see, you know, I like what I hear. You don't want to be something that you're not. Otherwise, you eventually get exposed, and people, you know what I mean? So yeah, be who you want to be. And what that comes naturally. Don't be something for someone that they might like. Actually, there's a compromise there, though, isn't it? There's like what's the word? Like I had a girlfriend once who was really good, but I know she didn't want me to be a cyclist and a hippie dude and whatever. But I wasn't going to change that for her, even though she was a nice person. We got along. I was like, I can't live that life. You know, I can't live that life. So we split up. And then I started being with women who love me for being a hippie and a cyclist and an animal lover and nature dude and stuff like that, you know? So you want to find people who appreciate your genuine gifts, your genuine traits of who you really are, your good things. Right? Everyone's got their bad sides. We'll improve our bad sides, and that's personality, being insecure, being petty, being spiteful, being jealous, and shit like that. And, you know, improve those things. But also be who you really are. You know, so for me, I'm like a bit of just a nature dude. You know, love riding bikes, eating fruit, eating rice. You know, love sugar, things like that. Like be who you are, and so people who appreciate that. You know, I build insane careers for people on social media. I've turned people from zeros social media wise into over 6 million subscribers on YouTube, etc. Like people were counting their last few dollars to earning, you know, over $1 million a year. So I can create that. You know, so if you want to have that, you know, that's just who I am. Imagine if someone said to me back in the day, oh, YouTube's not a real job, like go to university and be a business administrator and do it the right way. And it's like, great. Imagine if I did that, how depressed and unhappy I'd be today. So live who you really are, and people who appreciate that will find you as long as you're out there to be found. If you're not out there to be found, then don't complain and whine, oh, I can't meet anyone who's like-minded. Okay, so get yourself out there. Enough of the self-pity, enough of the excuses. When you lose excuses, you will find your results. And if you want more in-depth content, go to my website, Durianrider.com, join my coaching group. It's a Facebook group. It's a one-off fee for lifetime coaching. So maybe you have found that perfect person. You want more in-depth one-on-one coaching there. You can create an alias account if you want, if you don't want to be in public. But I'll answer any question. We'll dive deep on that. So that's Durianrider.com. Join the coaching group there, you know, and check out my ebooks as well. I hate to be salesy, but I do provide the best weight loss and relationship advice out there in 2021. It's current, right? And I don't learn this from other people. I learn this from living life, what actually works in real life versus what's told in universities because of industry bias, etc. Like I love living in the real world, the optimum world, not the marketing world, not the fake world, not the Hollywood world or the, you know, let's tell you bullshit to get your sales world, just the real world for real results.